Hi, everybody. My name's Lisa Kessler, and I'm with Kessler Insurance, and I am here today on behalf of our initiative Cheers for Charity New Hampshire that I am fortunate enough to partner with my dear friend Joanne Birchup. Hey, Joanne.
Lisa, thank you. Yeah, hi, I'm Joanne Birchup with Lighthouse Physical Therapy, and we have another great organization to talk with today, and we're excited to welcome Maureen and Jim. And they're with an organization called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And I believe you're out of Rochester, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so welcome. Please introduce yourselves and then just tell us a little bit about what your organization is all about.
Okay, my name's Jim Graves. This is my wife, Marlene. And we started the Rochester chapter of Sleep in Heavenly Peace a few months ago. It's a national organization that started in 2012 out in Twin Falls, Idaho. And about a year ago, we were watching a program on Facebook Watch. It was hosted by Mike Rowe. It was called Returning the Favor, where he went around the country and rewarded people that do good things. And he did a special on Sleep in Heavenly Peace when it was first starting, when they only had 8 chapters. And he interviewed Luke Mickelson, who's the founder, and his wife Heidi. And since that went public, now I think they're up to 280 chapters across the country. And we're the second chapter in New Hampshire. There's none currently in Maine, so they're hoping someone will start one. But that's how we got started. We did our first bed build, our public bed build, on October 2nd in the Lowe's parking lot in Rochester. And we built 24 beds with, I think, 54 volunteers. And our second public build was November 20th in Rochester. And we built, let me think, 46 beds with, I think it was 123 volunteers.
Oh my gosh.
And so basically we've built, since October 2nd, we've built 70 beds. And tomorrow we just scheduled our 70th delivery, which will be tomorrow. So we're
that's exciting.
It is.
Tell us about, like, how do people qualify to get a bed, and maybe talk a little bit about the need in our community for this, because I'm guessing people go home, they go to bed, they hop in their own bed, and they don't think anything about it, and they don't realize just how many people out there don't have an actual bed to sleep on. So mind talking about that a little bit?
The national average is between 2 to 3% of children currently are sleeping on the floor or just on a mattress on the floor without a real bed to sleep in. And our service area covers about a 15-mile radius around Rochester. And in that area, the population is about 200,000. So that means about 1,000 children don't have a bed to sleep in.
That's a lot of children. And did you say that was a 15-mile radius or a 50?
15 for now. Yeah, we're possibly going to expand that next year.
And once you guys build the beds, do you have some place that you are storing them until they're needed, or are they pretty much delivered as you get them built?
No, we had a storage unit donated by PIP Storage in Farmington. They donated a pretty large unit for us to store our beds and all of our tools and build supplies. So when we get a request for a bed, we basically drive to the storage unit, load up our trailer, and then go do deliveries.
That's great. And how do people find out about you?
Mostly on Facebook. Most people have found us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. It's Sleep in Heavenly Peace, New Hampshire -Rochester. Some people have actually gone to the New York Rochester page by mistake. It's very easy to confuse the two. It's just two letters. But Facebook page, we have a website. The main Sleep in Heavenly Peace website is shpbeds.org. And people can go to that main website and request a bed, or they can go to our Facebook page and request a bed. The only stipulation, the child has to be between the ages of 3 and 17, and
less than 250.
Yeah, less than. The weight limit is 250 pounds for a bed. It's only a twin bed with wooden slats, so the weight limit is 250. And the only other stipulation is that the child currently doesn't have a bed, that they're sleeping on the floor or on a mattress on the floor.
Are you finding you're getting a lot of referrals from maybe some of the homeless shelters, or
we have a
place where people are just getting maybe
we've had about maybe 5 out of 70 that have been referred.
Social workers.
Yeah.
Social workers have referred.
Some in Rochester, some in Sanford. Yeah. But most of it is parents, just parents that want a better sleeping situation for their child.
Or grandparents. We've had grandparents and friends. If they know somebody that might not want to say they need a bed, they've referred them, and
it doesn't have to be the parent to request the bed. It can be a grandparent or a friend that knows a child is sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, I love this organization. I first saw you guys on Facebook and I was like, oh my gosh, I immediately pinged Lisa and I'm like, we have to talk to these people. This is like such a cool idea. And you know, what a great contribution you're making to these kids to give them a real bed to sleep in.
Right.
I don't need to hog all the space here. Lisa, is it quiet enough you can talk?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just love the fact that you came out of the blue, it seems like, and of solving a problem that seems so simple, right? And like, but so necessary. And as soon as you see it, it's so easy to understand the value that's created to give these children their own bed, their own place to get a good night's sleep. Like sleep is essential, you know. I'd love to hear, you know, what was the thing that went through your head the first time you saw that special, that you were watching that show, and you know, what made you, what was sort of the like, we got to do this, like what made you say like, this is us?
I don't know.
We just both cried.
Yeah.
It touched our hearts.
We get choked up just thinking about it.
It touched our hearts, and we love children, and we have 6 of our own. And it was just something we wanted to do for kids.
Our kids have always been blessed, and they've had their own beds, and a lot of kids don't.
Oh. Yeah.
So we thought it was something we could do, and there wasn't a chapter in this area, so we cover parts of our 15-mile radius goes into Maine a little bit. We go all the way to Sanford, Lebanon, Acton, the Berwicks. Yeah.
We also, when we deliver the beds, we also bring special linen. Like that's my favorite part, is picking out the linen. I know that might be simple to some people, but I love picking out linen for the kids and seeing them smile. If it's a character linen or mermaids or trucks for boys, so that's special. And then they always we bring along another special blanket that we put at the bottom of the bed that's usually donated by the Linus Project Linus. And then Angie's
Kindness Blankets is another organization that has donated blankets to us. Yeah.
And the kids love, not only do they love their bed, they run in and they love they just are happy. Everything's new for them.
Yeah. And we deliver the complete bed with a brand new mattress, sheets, comforter, pillow, the whole deal.
And how do you finance all that? Is it through fundraising? Is it part of the national chapter? What's the magic?
It was tough in the beginning, but once once we started building beds and delivering beds, we started getting donations. And basically that's how we've financed everything, because, you know, even comforter sets aren't inexpensive and mattresses aren't inexpensive. And for a complete bed, including the mattress and the linen, the price is about $200 to $250 per bed. And Lowe's is the national sponsor of Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and they were generous enough for our first build. They basically donated enough to cover all of our tools and all of the lumber for the first build. Yeah. And the second build, we have different organizations that will sponsor a build. They can sponsor anywhere from 2 beds to 50 beds. And basically they make a donation to cover the cost of the lumber and the bedding. And at our second build, Service Credit Union partially sponsored that build. They sponsored 10 beds. And then we had a good sized donation from the Spalding High School class of 1983. They sponsored, I think, 3 beds. So every donation helps. It certainly does. And that's how we were able to build the beds and buy the mattresses. It's solely on donations.
And it sounds like you have quite a crew of volunteers that come out to help build all of these beds and get them all ready.
We do. The second build, we were shooting to build 50 beds. We ended up with 46, but we were going to have one volunteer sign up list, which we originally had. And when it got to like 80 or 90 volunteers, I had to shut it down and split it into, because we had a donated space in a garage because it was going to be about 40 degrees outside. And we only had so much room in the garage, and I couldn't imagine packing in 90 people. So I actually shut that down and split the build into 2 different time slots, from 10 a.m. to noon and noon to 2 p.m. So we had 2 different sign up sheets at that time. So we tried to split the volunteer count in half.
I don't think either one of us thought people would be so kind. And I know people are kind, but to see so many volunteers coming out to help us build these beds was just amazing. We never thought we'd see that many.
123 is a lot.
It's a lot of volunteers.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. It just sounds like it was a lot of fun and camaraderie, getting people together. And so
the whole community together, and you work with your neighbors, doing something good for your community. So it's, and you meet people and you make new friends that like to do what you like to do, give back.
Yeah, and there's different.
I was just gonna say, how do you know how to make a bed? Like, who teaches you? Is there like a blueprint? How do the volunteers, how do we figure it out?
The volunteers, there's no experience necessary. We have different stations, starting with the cutting station. It goes from cutting to sanding, drilling, assembly. There's different stations for different people, and it basically only takes us 5 minutes or less to teach someone each station. So it's very simple.
Yeah, and each station we put a little bit of, we have direction sheets at each station, and safety requirements, like goggles and gloves, and people, and they love it.
Each station has a station lead, which is usually someone that has done it before and they know what they're doing. So at each station, there's a person that the volunteers can ask questions if they run into trouble. Yep.
Love that. No experience necessary. Just come on out and good time. Yeah. Well, it sounds very rewarding on all ends. This is such a great organization. I'm just thrilled for what you guys are putting together and giving back to the community. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you if they would like to volunteer or, of course, sponsor some beds and donate towards that?
Yeah, I would say our Facebook page. There's contact information on our Facebook page. You can message us directly through our Facebook page, and there's a toll-free number if you'd like to call and leave a message. My email address is on there as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Do you have another build scheduled at this point, or do you still have like a back stock of beds you're trying to?
We still have quite a few beds in stock. We ended up borrowing some from the Amherst, New Hampshire chapter because we actually ran out for a short period of time before our second build. And I didn't want 2 or 3 weeks to go by without being able to deliver any beds. So I ran out to Amherst, grabbed 10 beds from them. And so we have quite a few in stock. We typically don't build in the winter. We don't have a year-round workshop space. That's something we're actually looking for to be donated. We need about 2,000 square feet. Some chapters, there's one in Vermont and Burlington that has a year-round indoor space, so they can build year-round. But as of now, our next build is probably going to be sometime in May.
Once the weather gets better and we can be outside, unless we were to find an indoor facility. Yeah.
So the last question that I have is, if you were to ask for something, what's the thing you need? If someone hears this and, you said you might need some space. I know you guys take donations to help pay for the beds. What are your top 3 needs?
I would say donations would be number one to keep the ball rolling and to, help us build more beds. Donations, the space, and volunteers. Yeah. But I will, when this first started in Idaho in 2012, it was at Christmas time, and the founder got approached. Part of his church group, someone needed a bed, so he started by building one bed in a garage. And right now, as a national organization, they're closing in on 100,000 beds built since 2012, and
it's amazing.
Almost 35,000 of those were just this year alone, which is incredible. I think they've added 35 chapters this year. Yeah, but we definitely need a chapter in Maine.
That is great. Well, our applause to you guys. This is very, very, very exciting. And this has been so wonderful to talk to you both and hear more about your organization. And, we wish you continued success in any way that we can help support you.
Yes.
Thank you
so
much.
Thank you for spending time with us today. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.